What's up and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 324. I already forgot and was clicked on something else. That's good. I know how to do my job. Wonder, say something.
The Bills confuse me. That's all I know.
I'm sure we'll talk about the NFL draft. I don't
At
really
some
want
point.
to. I will be making fun of the Bills for being the dumbest motherfuckers alive.
They are every year. At this point, it's got to be getting tiring to
Yeah, but
make fun of them.
this is dumber than normal.
Well, I don't know. They don't have Sean McDermott, so they make even dumber decisions.
I was going to
now.
say McDermott would have made the decision I'm pounding the table for. Yeah. So that's something. Wonder how's your outside of the draft, how's your week been?
That's been pretty good. Pretty tired. Still trying to learn how to sleep in 2 and 3 hour shifts throughout the night, but pretty good though. Oh yeah, and for anybody that's watching this, if they want to stick around for a little bit, little Miss Tatum will make her first debut.
That's cute.
Yep. So, if anybody wants to meet my child for the first time, you just stick around. She'll be here in a little bit. Right now, she's eating, so
Snack
didn't
time.
figure she'll get snack time, and then she'll get burped, and then she'll probably come in here and throw up all over me anyway. But
That'll be funny. That's
I'm used
good
to it
content.
at this point.
That's also
Yeah,
good
I'm used
content.
to it.
So
Yeah.
we'll take that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So looks like you got your apartment a little better.
Yeah, I'm finally
Settled.
all moved in and settled and done. Finally.
That's good. That's got to feel good.
It feels a bit better. Also got to spend the weekend. My girlfriend brought over one of her cats. So got to finally, for the first time in over a year, have a fluffy around my house. That was nice. That was
Sometimes
nice.
that's nice.
Yeah. I like the little fluffies.
Yeah. So Aspen wanted a fluffy at the same time of having a small human.
Should have done it.
And
Then they grow up
I'm
together,
so
and that's
glad.
adorable.
Right. Well, I'm just so glad that we didn't, though, because taking care of a small human and a puppy would have been so much more stressful.
Yeah, trying to train the puppy while taking care of a small human would have been tough. That's one of
Right.
those, you would have needed to get the puppy like right after you found out she was pregnant. So you'd have those, 7 or 8 months to train the puppy.
And see, I don't want, and the more I've thought about it, like I think of my childhood, and I don't want them to go through the childhood that I went through when it comes to pets, because I was, like this with we had a Great Dane, and as you know, the Great Danes usually don't live super long.
Yeah.
But very early stages of my life, I remember this Great Dane, but I only got to know her for a few years before she passed away because, they don't live that long. And she had been around for quite a while, but I don't remember her until I was like 4, 3 or 4 years old. And then she's gone. And then, so I'd rather, in my opinion, at this point wait until Tatum is old enough to appreciate having a pet.
Fair. If
Oh.
you need a fluffy for now, get a cat. They live
Right.
for fucking ever and, can fill some of the void.
Yeah. The hard part about cats, though, is they can be a little smellier than dogs. And right now, we have a hard time with smells. I don't know what it is about having a newborn around, but if something's smelly in the house, it drives us nuts. So, I don't know what it is. It's worse for Aspen because her senses are, heightened.
Yeah.
So she notices smells a lot worse than I do. So,
Fair.
but I don't know. I like cats and all, but it's not like my folks' place, which is kind of nice for them because they have a cat and the litter box is out in the garage.
Yeah.
So you don't get any of the litter box smell in the house. It's just out in the garage. And we don't really have an attached garage.
See,
and I don't want to let my cat outside because there's actively people trapping cats in our town right now because we are overrun with cats.
what the fuck?
Thanks to the neighbor down the street a little ways. They left their garage open and they just fed cats and bred them, and so next thing you know, they had 300 cats, and then the neighbor passed away, and there's nobody to take care of the cats anymore, so the cats have dispersed out of the house and into the town. And literally last night, while Aspen and I and the baby are all trying to sleep, there's nothing but constant cat fights that happen outside of my house, and it is just so annoying. So they were literally right up against the house because while they were fighting, you could hear them smacking off the side of the house. And I went out this morning and there's like hairballs laying all over the freaking place.
That's crazy.
Tearing each other apart. Yeah. So that shit drives me nuts. But I don't know. I almost want to get a dog just to keep the cats away.
Fair enough. That could work.
And the other thing that's really driving me nuts is Aspen and I have planted strawberries and flowers, and the cats like the soft soil to take a shit in. So
yeah,
I'll be, trying to do the weeds or, scratching stuff up with like weeds and stuff like that, and getting the grass out. And there's just cat turds in the dirt, and it kind of makes it gross sticking your hand in there trying to bury things. And yeah, so I don't know.
That makes sense to me.
It's just annoying, but gotta love the town life, I guess. But eventually, 10-15 years down the road, Aspen and I'll hopefully find a place out in the country.
Yeah.
So
get that.
The only thing that'll be nice is by then I'll probably have fiber.
Yeah.
And I will very much miss having fiber.
That's fair.
But is what it is. I'll trade fiber for.
See, I don't know. I don't know if it's a litter thing or what, but our litter box is technically sitting in our living room and I can't smell it at all. And like, I know it's an actual, I can't smell it at all. I've done the like leave the house for a few hours and come back thing. Like, it's not I've just gotten used to it. It's currently is not.
Yeah. And I will say that some cats are just smellier than others.
That's also very fair. And some litters don't hide it as well. And
right. And a lot of people just go with the cheapest litter they can, and it doesn't mask any odor or anything like that. And and also, if you keep on top of it a little bit, you keep it clean.
Yeah.
They tend to be okay also. Yeah. But where we have a child and so much to do constantly, we might neglect the cleaning the litter box
for
and
sure.
Stuff. And so I don't know. Like I said, it'll get easier as she gets a little older, hopefully. And I very much look forward to when she starts sleeping through the night. But it's not too bad right now because I'm not working, so I naturally don't want to go to sleep until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I just, I'm already awake. But like,
how long are you still off for?
My first day back at work will be on the 18th of next month.
Okay.
So
my mom wanted to know, she has to bring you guys some stuff, and obviously you guys have some things to talk about.
Right. And so we're around most of the time. So if she just wants to shoot a quick text or something and say, hey, I'm coming over, we'll be like, all right. So we don't got a whole lot to do right now other than, take care of our child.
Yeah.
But
you guys have actual details to work out.
Right. I'm very much, you know, not looking forward to going back to work because it's going to be rough for me.
Yep.
You know, getting used to hanging around my, fiance and my kid, and then I got to go back to work and leave them at home, and so that's going to be hard. So I dread
100%.
I dread going back to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, is what it is. Got to do. Got to go to work so we can provide.
So you can eat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that shit's getting expensive as fuck now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're getting raises in July, I believe.
That'd be nice.
Hopefully it's substantial.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if they did another $3 or $4 raise like they did last time.
Yeah. I kind of don't feel like it'll be that much.
No, I'd be okay with like a $2 raise, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the state does stuff that just annoys the shit out of me. Like when I first got hired, I made $24.78. Why not just 25? Just make it 25. Make it an even number.
No.
And then when I got my promotion, I went from $24.78 to $29.70. Why not just 30? I can't tell people I make $30 an hour. I have to tell them I make $29.70. Like, that just drives me nuts. But we all know we're getting raises, just don't know how much, because it's based off of. So basically, what the state of Wyoming does is they look at what everybody else that does what we do in the rest of the states, the rest of the country, and they figure out how much they're getting paid, and then they go, okay, so the rest of the states are getting paid $35 an hour to do my job.
Yeah.
So then they go, okay, we'll do 90% of that, and that's your raise. So they literally slap us in the face and say, so look, we know the rest of the state is making $35 an hour, but we're only going to give you 90% of that. So just so we're kind of competitive with the rest of the world.
Awful.
Yep. See, it cracks me up. I mean, I have a pretty good job compared to most jobs in the state.
Yeah.
I will say that. But also, we are grossly underpaid compared to what the rest of the state does. For everybody that does the same thing we do, anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mainly stay because it is, the military's not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's stability.
Yeah.
And also state insurance is hard to beat. So, yeah. I can have 10 kids on my family plan and my deductible. I'm even on the high deductible premium right now.
Yeah.
And it's only $3,500 or $3,400 for my deductible. So not too bad. Whereas anywhere else, most of the time you can add your spouse and your kid, and then each time you get a new kid or something like that, when you add them, they up your cost.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh. Baby. Aw.
Hate him. Hey, everybody.
Aw. So tiny.
She's she just shit in my hand.
I heard that. That's so funny.
You can go ahead and take her back. Okay, there's Tatum.
Oh.
If you couldn't tell, that's definitely my child.
Yeah, that tracks.
That was a very audible. Oh my God, I have to tell you this. So she's really good at doing that. So she went with Aspen and I last Sunday to church for the first time. And so when we pulled up to the church, we parked, and I turned around and I looked at Tatum, and I told her, I said, if you have to poop, wait till after church. She did not listen to me.
No?
Not only did she poop in church, she waited till the quietest part of the whole church. We're doing the big prayer, and so it's super quiet, and she waited till the pastor was in a silent part of the prayer, so it's just dead quiet in the whole church, and she had the most high octane vocal splatter assy shit I have ever heard of anybody taking.
That's funny.
Oh, she absolutely blew out of her diaper.
That's incredible. That's so funny, dude.
I might take a second to go wash my hands.
Oh, you a little covered, are you?
Well, I was holding her right where she blew out, so
nice.
I'm gonna go wash my hands. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I guess I have to suddenly step in and conversate. So, okay, there is literally no better timing in the history of the world than that, though. What? The minute she gets on camera, that's the most wonder thing I've ever heard. Yep.
These diapers suck.
These diapers suck. True. That's so funny, though. What the hell? I just love that we can hear them in the background. That makes it so much funnier. Like, so much funnier. Oh.
That's rough. Okay.
All right. So what the hell else happened? Because I heard you yell, "What the hell?"
Trying to get my hand. There we go. So we have this lady that comes over. It's provided by the state of Wyoming.
Uh-huh.
So basically, she's like a little, like, I don't even know what you call it. She's kind of like a nurse, basically.
Okay.
And she shows up weekly to, like, check on the baby and weigh the baby and measure her and make sure everything's going well and make sure she's nursing properly and all this other stuff. So it's kind of nice because every time she comes bearing gifts. So usually she brings diapers. So the diapers that she brings, we thought we liked them, but they're kind of like a different material. They're not like fabric-y. They're kind of more plasticky.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wondered if they were as absorbent as the ones that we bought. And apparently they are not, because she basically exploded up her back because the diaper did not absorb anything.
Love that.
So free diapers is nice, but also
not
for big loads, apparently. So I don't know.
That's
Luckily,
fun.
we got quite a few diapers that I just hear Aspen, bro. She also likes to wait until you take her diaper off to explode sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you're not careful, she will friendly fire you.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Awful, but funny.
Gotta love children. Gotta love children.
Yeah.
But so anyway, everybody got to meet her. If anybody wants to come over and change a diaper, you would be more than welcome.
That's so funny, dude. Like, it's awful, but it's hilarious, you know?
Right. Yeah. But I don't know. That has been my life for the last 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Just a little sneak peek. But
Oh, that's
anywho, how has your week been? That's been my week.
it's been a week. Trying to think of what happened. Oh, we went to I had to drive to Colorado Springs. Because we went to my girlfriend's family Christmas thing. There was a bunch of stuff happening during the holidays and like people in the hospital and a whole thing. So their family gathering didn't get to happen until just now. That was interesting. Much different than the family gatherings I'm used to. Instead of like just exchanging gifts, they all bought really goofy stuff and then you play bingo and randomly pick gifts.
Oh.
That was something. That was different.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was different for sure.
It is. That is a weird like thing about when you get into a relationship with people is learning their family customs and how different some people's customs are from others. Not saying there's anything wrong with those customs. I'm just saying that it's just crazy to see how many different systems there are out there.
Yeah. 100%. So that was interesting and different. What else happened? I'm sure something did.
Yeah.
That's how my life feels right now. I'm sure something happened sometime.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes
you need your girlfriend here. You need your girlfriend here to tell you what happened.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I know how you feel. It's like, what did I do last night? Oh, you did this, this, and this. Oh yeah, that's right. But I was gonna try and have her wear one of your outfits, but she's not quite old enough for those yet.
They all a little too big still.
Yep. Just a little bit. She's growing fast, so it won't be too much longer, and she'll be wearing the clothes that you got her.
That's cute.
So I'm excited for those days because they're super cute.
Yeah. I hope they all are at least actually decent, you know?
They seem to be. Like they seem to be pretty good quality.
That's
like,
good.
So most of the stuff. So we have in Cheyenne, there's a place that's called Once Upon a Child.
Uh-huh.
And basically it's like a thrift store for child stuff, like clothing and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's basically just all used stuff. So you know how having a kid is. Basically you buy a bunch of stuff and then after 3 months they're out of that stuff and so you don't have any use for it. So a lot of people take them and sell them for dirt cheap to the store, and then the store sells it for dirt cheap, basically. So all of the outfits we have her in right now were like $1.50 to $4 at the most. And some of the stuff's brand new. We're never even used. Yeah. And they still have the tag on them, and so you'll be buying it for like $3.50, and the tag's like $25 or $14 or whatever. Yeah. When they were brand new. So, but it's yeah. So we. Even though it was like, $4 at the most for some of the outfits, we still walked out of there with like 150 some bucks worth of baby clothes.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of nice having that. I mean, it was worth driving down there just to go there. And then we also went shopping for some stuff for Aspen, and I got some jeans and it was interesting. That was our kind of our test run, because soon we'll have to go on a 9-hour trip with our baby. So
yeah,
but she seems to handle travel pretty well. she really likes motion. So like if you get her in the car seat, and at first she's really mad at you because you put her in the car seat. But after you pick her up and you start walking with her, and you get her in the truck and drive down the highway, she usually falls asleep or she's quiet and content because I guess she just likes the motion. So that's a good thing because sometimes kids can be car sick.
Yeah,
I guess, and they just absolutely hate riding in car seats and cars. So luckily that she is not that. So
that is good.
Yeah, because it's a good thing because 9 hours with a car sick baby would be really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, enjoying the car is definitely going to be better for you guys.
yeah, eventually we're gonna try and buy ourselves more of a family vehicle because both of us just have trucks.
Yeah.
So, and it is kind of really tough for Aspen to get even for me actually, because her truck's the only truck that like her car seats it fits in the back of, and it's a higher truck, and so you have to pick her way up here and get the car seat in and get her into the deal. And so that it's kind of it's pain to get her in and out of the truck. But I'm so happy we went with a more expensive car seat. It's called a Duna. So basically, it's got like a little base that you set up before you get the car seat in there, and you just pick the car seat up and you put it in there, and it basically just locks in. So you just it clicks in and has like a little leveling needle and then like a little button in the front that you can push to release it. And then when you pull it out, you push another button and wheels fold out and it turns into a stroller.
Oh, interesting.
And it's super fast. I mean, it's just a push of a button and everything just turns into a stroller. And then when you got to go get groceries or something, you just pull it out, pull the wheels out, and then it's got a handle that folds over and it extends, and then you just wheel it around, and it's really nice. And then when you got to go back in, you just push the button, you push it down, and the wheels fold up and locks into place, and then you flip the handle back up, and then you just slap it back in the base. The whole thing takes like less than 15 seconds to take in and out.
That's awesome.
And it is like a $600 or $700 car seat, but I am so happy that we decided to go with this because it has made things so much nicer.
That's crazy.
Than most car seats. So, but yeah.
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 But that's super nice, though.
Yes, it is.
Like, that's a lot, but it's super nice, so worth it.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it. And what was nice is she had a friend that put money towards, like when we had our baby shower and stuff, because we had it on our registry. We had one of her friends put money towards it, and then my mom, that was her big thing that she paid off the rest of it for. So it was free to us.
That's awesome.
So
that's nice.
Yes, I'm so glad. Because we ended up spending, by the time it was all said and done after the baby shower and stuff, most of the stuff on the registry did not get bought. And so we still end up spending, $1,500 to $2,000 to buy the rest of the stuff that was on the registry that we need. So, but yeah, that room back there is pretty well stocked with baby stuff. It was like a pantry with the previous owners that lived here. They made it into like a little pantry. So it's got like a bunch of shelves all in the closet. And we were like, I don't know what we're going to do with this, if we're going to kind of make it a pantry or if we're going to turn it into a closet. Well, it turned into a great baby storage closet because we got all the diapers on one rack and all the wipes on one rack. And then, so it's kind of nice.
That is nice.
Yeah. So, easy.
I'm trying to think of anything else that happened this week. I mean, had the cat here for a couple days. That was interesting. She, we brought her over and she was like a little freaked out at first because, like, where the fuck am I? You know?
Right. Unfamiliar territory.
And I guess, you know, the brand new litter box was something for her because she didn't immediately like recognize that it was a litter box. So I think that stressed her out. And then later, like in that first night, we were in the bathroom, like brushing our teeth, and she hopped in the bathtub and peed, which, like,
Hey.
if you're going to choose not the litter box, that's about the best place, you know? So, hey, cool. And we were like, that's weird. So we put the litter box in the bathtub, which then led her to figuring it out. It was a litter box. And from there, she was just like, oh, I like this place. You guys actually made this right. It's like she didn't know she had a litter box. And then once she figured out she did, she was like, oh, I'm good. This is good.
Right.
This is cool. So,
I belong here.
Yeah, that was interesting, but that was fun.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to really show a cat where their litter box
We
is.
put her in the litter box twice, and she still was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Cats have they're really good at finding a soft place to pee and poop, usually. Which is usually a litter box, and unless you have a plant or something around, which was what happened to our folks when they first got their cats, was the cats decided the plants were funner to poop in than the litter box, and so that took a little time to break them of that habit.
Yeah.
Spraying them with a water bottle when they get in the plants is what we had to do. But yeah, cats can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, and I've like never owned a cat, so this was all this is all unfamiliar territory for me, you know.
Is it a long hair or short hair?
I don't actually know.
Have hair this long or hair this long?
More like that, yeah.
Okay.
So short hair,
like
I guess.
Medium,
yeah.
like a
I was
medium
like,
haired
it's not
cat.
super short, but not super long. So I'm like, I don't know. It's got hair.
Yeah.
She sheds just about as much as Dean the dog did, though.
Okay. That's
So
what I was
fun.
wondering.
There's
Because like
I will never
cats-
not have cat hair.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's my dad's cat. She is a long hair, but I will say that for a long haired cat, she does not shed as bad as she should.
Yeah.
She's really good at grooming herself, so I think that helps. But we also try to brush her as much as possible. But
Yeah.
the only place that has a lot of hair is where she sleeps. There's this it's like a lawn chair basically, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got pads like a patio set, and they have it on the inside. And then in the summertime they take them outside, but in the wintertime they keep it inside.
Yeah.
And she likes sleeping on this one chair. Well, because she repetitively sleeps on that chair, and the material of it is staticky, the hair that comes off of her just kind of sticks to the chair. So that's a very hairy chair, and you can tell that is her claimed napping spot.
Yeah.
But when we get a lot of guests that come over and stuff, because of the material, we just take a roller or whatever, and it just comes right off. So
Yeah. That makes sense.
it's not a big deal.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
So.
fun.
Anyway, were you happy with the draft of the Vikings?
It's fine. Like, I don't know. They did what most people originally wanted. Now everybody's mad about it, but that's how fucking idiots on the internet go. But like, it's for the last few years, it's like, I know everybody just wants the best player available thing all the time, but sometimes best player available doesn't mean what the consensus board thinks best player available is.
Mm-hmm.
To the Vikings, these probably were the best players available, you know, whatever. But it's the, like, outside of that thing, they, I don't know, none of them were, like, the fun pick ever. They shore up a lot of things. I don't love it, but what do I know? Like, I don't hate it. I just don't love it. It just exists. It's probably
kind of
it's not flashy, but it's probably all gonna work out. It just, like, none of it's fun, you know?
It's your average B draft, basically.
Pretty
B-rated
much.
draft. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the Bills. Although I knew they were going to trade out of the first. I didn't know they were going to trade that many times.
Yeah.
but I knew they were going to trade out of the first.
Yeah.
So I wasn't upset with that. I was, however, a little upset with our second day. I was kind of disappointed because I thought there were some better people on the board to draft at that early draft, or that second day, early second day. Not saying that the people that they drafted were necessarily bad football players, but I kind of feel as though that it's very repetitive.
Yeah.
The Bills seem to like a very specific type of defensive player, and they stick to it, and it drives me nuts because it's like our defense seems to be our downfall every year. And by picking the same thing over and over again, it just does not. But I'm not saying the picks that they made were bad. I feel like they were more depth players than they were impact players. So second day, I was a little bit like discouraged. I was like, are you kidding me? Even if you were going to go linebacker edge person, why would you not go with the more speedy, bendy, bursty player?
Yeah.
Versus the Bradley Chubb that we already have. That's basically TJ Parker. He's basically Bradley Chubb. He's more of a power player. Not saying he's a bad player, but he is more of a power player. He's not the speedy, bendy player. It's like we already have Bradley Chubb and people that are power players. Why would we not diversify?
Yeah.
But that's just the Bills for you. They have a specific player that they like, and they stick to it. The TJ Parker one, I can live with because I think he was a top 30 pick.
Sure.
So I thought we got pretty good value for him. The one I didn't like, and I'm still having a hard time with, is going up, and I think it's IGB is what he wants to go by or something like that. The defensive back was their second pick, basically. And they traded up to get him. And I think there was at least two other players on the board that I think were so much better than him. But I understand why they picked him, because of the new defensive coordinator came out of Denver. They really like they like to play man a lot. And this player is a man defensive player. So he likes to be up on the line and play man-to-man, jam him at the line, that kind of physicality. But he apparently draws a ton of penalties doing that. He gets real handsy and draws penalties. So that part I wasn't real impressed with. I thought there was more DBs on the board that were way better picks than what they took, and it annoyed me. It would have been something if they would have just not traded up, and they would have just, because I think this guy would have still been there if they wouldn't have traded up, and they could have just picked him later on. But whatever. Day 2 was kind of discouraged. Wasn't very happy.
Day 3 was even worse.
I'm not as upset with
Trading
day
down
3.
with the Raiders and letting the second best corner in the draft go, who fits exactly everything you want because, well, he has injury concerns. He might never play, and then taking a tackle who is guaranteed to not play is really stupid. You took a number 5 tackle instead of the guy who could be the best corner on your team for a decade, just because, well, what if he doesn't play? The tackle's not going to play. That was stupid.
Right, I understand. Well, see, the thing is, I know why they took the tackle. It's because they're expecting Deion Dawkins to not be around much longer.
Yeah, but a fourth-round tackle isn't starting for you and being good ever. That's not going to happen.
Well, and see, this is I also have a problem with it. Are you okay? Oh, you're just getting lit. Okay. So like I also was not impressed with. I felt like the first 3 picks were like depth players, and it's like we have immediate needs that we need to address. And I don't understand why we are getting depth players right now. That's usually honestly the Bills' idea of drafting was like it was just backwards because they picked up needed positions later in the draft, but picked up depth players early.
Yeah,
which if you look back in our previous last couple of years, I understand the why, because we thought we were good in positions, and then a few injuries later, we've got people who usually wouldn't ever play on a football field other than the practice squad ended up starting for us, and we got burned because of it. I get it, but still pick up your needed positions first, then get your fill-in players later. But that being said, I am not super upset with how the next picks went after the first 3 picks, because we ended up with Skylar Bell. He was one of the players I really thought was really good. If you look at his stats, he was like one of the top 3 receivers. So again, weirdly enough, I think he's still going to be like your wide receiver 5 for now. But in the next couple of years, I could definitely see him being wide receiver, like your top 3 wide receiver targets, which is not completely abnormal, especially since we had the DJ Moore trade and stuff like that. So you got your wide receiver 1, you got Shakir. I think they still plan on trying to use Keon Coleman, which I'm not okay with. I'm not real happy about that unless he really turns it around. But I don't know. But I really, really, really like Skylar Bell, because he runs a 4.4 flat. He's not slow. And he does somehow which is weird, because Brandon Bean's talk show he did not too long ago, he was asked about Skylar Bell and what he foreseen him being for the Bills. And he basically was saying that he didn't think that Skylar Bell had much of a deep threat. And after watching tape on him and highlights, feel like that's kind of a weird thing to say, because it seemed like most of the stuff he got was deep threat stuff. Although I know why they picked him, because he was used in the screen a lot. So like a lot of his yards were yards after catch on screens. So he had quite a few of those, and obviously our offensive coordinator and our new head coach really like their screens, which they're fine when they work, but nothing drives me more nuts than it's 3rd and 13 and we run a screenplay. But whatever. He's got a really good screen ability, but I think he's got a deep threat thing to him also. But I have a feeling that he's going to be more of a short kind of usage guy to begin with, because we'll have DJ Moore as our deep threat guy, as our field stretcher. But whatever. I like Skylar Bell. I was really happy with that pick. Then we got, I think, a linebacker.
I don't remember the order.
I think it was a linebacker, I believe, out of TCU, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember what his name was, but I watched his highlights and his tape. He's a really good runs defender. Like, he crashes downhill. He's a big dude, and he packs a punch. He's exciting to watch, but also he can go from the best player on the field on the defense to all of a sudden he's dazed and confused and doesn't know what's going on. So do I think that can be coached out of him? Sure. But he at least has a lot of upside and makes me excited about having him on the field. Because he is a big physical player and he likes to lay the wood, which you need out of this new style of defense. And then I can't remember who they took. I know we got a punter, which is good. I'm happy we took a punter, because the Bills haven't had an established punter since like 2005. So there's that. And he can also kick off also, which is, I guess, I'm glad about that too, because I think all your kickers should be able to do both.
Sure.
In case one or the other gets injured. And then, we picked up more offensive line depth and more corner depth. But I don't know. All in all, the overall draft, I think it was like a B. It was also a B. You know, it was the average Buffalo Bills draft.
Well, if it's an average Bills draft, that makes it at best a C- because they haven't drafted good in 4 years.
Right, but I think it was better than normal, I would say.
Okay.
Even though, just because we got so much draft capital than what we went in with, because originally we only had 6 picks going into the draft, and then we came out with like 8 or 9. Yeah. So we were able to pad our roster a little bit, which was desperately needed with more cost-effective players. Because I think that's what the Bills have struggled with, and why our cap sucks so bad is because we refuse to draft, use our draft to pad positions that are expensive. Mm-hmm. And instead of having a cost-effective player for the next 5-6 years, we're having to pay, washed veterans $4 to $5 million here and there, which soaks up all of our free money, and then they don't make it all the way through the season, and then you're just there, and then you let them go, and that's just a cap hit, and you're just player after player after player of that, and then you just got years worth of cap hits for players that don't even play football anymore.
Yeah.
So I was okay with the fact that we went out and got a whole bunch of young people that all of them seem to have a chance to be starters in the future. They may not be like, oh my God, they're going to start now and they effectively help us out right now. But we did a lot of moves in the free agency that I think helped, for right now, for this next coming season.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like we should have doubled up on linebacker more than anything else. But Brandon Beans seemed to think that he thought the cornerback position was the most important thing after last year.
Well, yeah, you don't have corners. That's why not picking Jermod McCoy is so dumb, because even if he's not going to play next year, he actually has a chance to matter. I don't really think any of the corners you drafted really, they don't move the needle at all. You could have used other picks at other places, taken Jermod McCoy late, because the worst that happens is you take the highest upside possible guy and he doesn't work out, versus taking multiple lower upside guys, wasting those picks, and then them probably never being as good or even good enough to...
Right.
How bad is it going to look if Jermod McCoy comes out and is a multiple-time All-Pro while the other guys never play a game for the Bills?
Right. I also, because Jermod, he's kind of a smaller corner, isn't he? Is he big? Is he the bigger corner? I can't remember. I can't remember what he. Yeah. What's his? I
mean, he's about average for a corner. He's 6 feet tall, 194 pounds, and he's the best man press cover corner in this entire draft. Okay. He fits everything you wanted, and the only reason he's not a first round pick is because he has this. They did a plug in his cartilage in his knee that if there's a problem, it's not going to ruin his career. It just means he'll be out this year. That's it. He's going to play again. And even if he falls off a bit, he goes from the best man coverage corner in the world to 12th best. That's still the best corner the Bills have had in 2 decades. Come on. Don't worry. I'm just as offended that the Vikings didn't take him. Yeah, I
was just about to ask. I was did the Vikings also pass on him?
Yeah, the difference is the Vikings didn't actively trade out of the pick that got him. Yes, they passed on him. Everybody passed on him. But the actively trading one spot back so somebody else could go up and take him, when that is a position of need. If the Vikings had traded with the Raiders so they could go get him, I'd be more pissed, because that's dumb. Because I'm still of the opinion, yes, the injury sucks. If he turns out to be what everyone thinks he is, how do you not want that guy on your team?
Right. I also think I know part of the reason why they passed on him is because the other guy they ended up drafting, they had hosted him and worked out with him, and he was apparently more specific to what they were looking for as far as
Sure.
what they plan on, because they weren't really looking for, oh my God, we're going to start him now kind of person. It was more of a, we're padding our depth
Sure,
chart.
but if you're doing that, you're taking a guy who is injured and could use the rest anyways, so who has 10 times the ability to become something great than the guy you actually end up taking.
Right. But you look at our new defensive coordinator and where he came from, they had specific roles for the people that they drafted. So I don't know if the person they drafted was he's really good at this, and we want him on the field for this specific role. Well, and
Fair.
also I think the person that they drafted over him he has punt return capabilities. So I think he brings a special teams possibility to him also. So I think that might be because we don't have a punt returner. And so I think that might have went
Khalil
into it.
Shakir is your punt returner, and he has been forever, and he's really good at it. You also have McCole Hardman, and Keon Coleman could do it. So, like,
Right. But Khalil Shakir is not a punt returner. All he does is catch the football. He does not really return the punt.
Well, he couldn't before because he's the only good receiver. Now you have DJ Moore. That's less of a concern.
Right, but even when he had the chance to return the football,
right, he's avoiding
he just
injury.
wasn't good at it.
I don't think that's entirely true. I think he just didn't want to get hurt, so he didn't try that hard, which is fair.
Maybe. He still doesn't want to get hurt, though.
I mean, yes, but it's a little different now. Now he's been paid, and he's not the only receiver on the team, so it makes it a little less of a concern.
And McCole Hardman, although he is fast, he is also a just blunder machine. The one punt he caught last year, he fair caught. He wasn't even gonna return the punt. He catches the punt, but he didn't fair catch. He gets hit, fumbles the football, and he should have fair caught it. And he had one job, and he couldn't hold on to the football, and he muffed it and turned the ball over. And that is a reoccurring issue with him. He's kind of got brick hands. Even when he was with Kansas City, he was kind of had brick hands. So you don't really want. The only other person, which you are right, which I am, I will like to see if they do it. But I thought Keon Coleman should be our punt returner. I thought that last year. I was like, I know he was a punt returner in college. And he actually had fairly good yards per return when he punt returned, which was like 9, I want to say, or something like that, which was really good.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was 12. I don't know. Either way, pretty good. But I don't think we have a designated punt returner, and I don't like the idea of not having a designated punt returner. I hate sending people out like Shakir, who he is not there for punt returning. He was there because we had to.
Sure.
And just like our kickoff return, although I think Ray Davis ended up doing really well. I think he was like top in the league as far as punt returns, or as far as kickoff returns. But also Ray Davis was not originally there for kickoff returns. We don't have a designated person for that. And neither of these people, like even Shakir, are super fast people. And you want your punt returner to have explosive speed and race to the sideline, beat people around the edge speed. And Shakir doesn't have that. Ray Davis doesn't have that. Keon Coleman doesn't even have that. So the fact that they drafted a player who, yes, he's drafted as a defensive back, and he's, not the worst at that position, but also he has the punt return ability.
Yeah.
I could see why they did it.
Fair.
So
fair enough.
I still am like, we should have went with the other guy, but also I get it. If you know anything about Brandon Beane, once he has his eyes set on somebody, that is the person they are going to get.
Fair.
Just like picking, I think who did they pick? They picked Keon Coleman over.
Well, they traded back, let Xavier Worthy go, and picked Keon, but also Adonai Mitchell and somebody else was there. Xavier Leggett, I think.
Well, there was someone else too. Was it? I want to say he's on the Chargers.
Maybe Ladd, but I never liked Ladd, so I wasn't gonna.
McConkey, but still would have been miles better than Keon Coleman. At least the guy can freaking catch.
Except for when he can't, because remember, him not being able to catch is why Herbert threw 4 picks in the wild card round.
That was one bad game.
No, that's like his whole thing is the one thing he was supposed to do he's not actually good at. It's almost like you should listen to me when I say guys aren't good at things. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling other people out.
Right.
It's almost like I know how wide receivers work, because that is like the one position where I look at guys and I go, he's not actually that good. And, oh, he's actually that good. And I've been right every time. Mm-hmm. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he would have been better than Keon Coleman. Pretty much anybody would have been. Now we're trying to figure out if this kid's washed, if we should even keep him.
Well, see, you say that, but like part of the issue with that whole thing is that like, is it an issue with the player or an issue with your team's ability to develop said player? And judging by the fact that every receiver that the Bills have drafted and developed themselves outside of Khalil Shakir has never even been mediocre, I tend to lean towards this offense cannot develop a wide receiver.
Right, but they've also never really drafted the splash play wide receiver that everybody was looking at either.
Well, you drafted a receiver like Keon Coleman and then didn't use him like Keon Coleman. And then 2 years into his career, you always have a choice. You just elected to force him into the wide receiver 1 role that you knew he wasn't going to be able to do. You never put him into the advantageous situations he's built for. And then you, as a franchise, get mad that he's not doing everything right. And you kill his career. The Vikings did it to Laquan Treadwell. I know this story all too well.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, that's what drives me nuts about why did we pick Keon Coleman? Is he's a slot player. We had Shakir. Shakir, you're not going to play Keon Coleman in the slot over Shakir.
Keon's not a slot player. His entire thing is he's big and good at the contested catch, but you never put him in contested catch situations.
Ever. Oh, God, dude. Last year, that's all they did. They threw up contested balls, and he lost over and over and over. At the end of the year.
That wasn't the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year when that finally started happening, you've given him a year and a half of ruining his career by doing the wrong thing with him, and then you wonder why he's not good at this new thing.
That's not completely. He got a lot of targets, and they were back shoulder catches, contested catches on the sideline. They moved him around a lot. He dropped a lot of passes. I don't know how else to say.
That part is true. He absolutely did.
Wide open passes too, like in the back of the end zone. I don't know how many times I watched him like get right in the hands in the perfect spot and drop a pass. It's like, dude, what are you doing? This isn't, oh my God, I was not coached properly.
To be fair, last year was weird because Justin Jefferson also couldn't catch last year.
True. But also, like, I'm not saying he can't turn it around. They seem to have faith in the kid. I hope it works out. I'm not trying to go out and say, he's done. I hope it comes now that we have a true wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
And, we have an actual roster that's worth a shit, I think. He might have a breakout year for him. And because he's not being asked to be the number one wide receiver and has all that pressure on him and all that. So
I was going to say it's really important because I don't think as highly of Keon as I did of Quentin Johnston, but Quentin Johnston did the same thing for the first 2 years of his career. And then they added Ladd and Keenan Allen and stopped saying Quentin's our only guy. And suddenly Quentin Johnston was one of the best receivers in the league because the pressure was different. So that could happen for Keon. He's not going to do it at Quentin Johnston's level, but that's because Quentin Johnston was a way better prospect. One guy got compared to Randy Moss. One guy was a projected second-round pick. These are not the same thing.
And also, the thing about it, you think about last year when he was considered the wide receiver number one. Who does the wide receiver one get as far as coverage?
The best
corner. The best DB. The best corner. So it makes sense that, you've got a second-round, maybe third-round type athlete going up against first-round corners.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Now, DJ Moore is going to draw every corner, best corner on the other team, and now that's going to open up everybody else. I am so glad we got DJ Moore. Whether he is the DJ Moore that he used to be or not, he is still going to draw. He is a big enough threat that he will draw coverage and open everybody else up. And that's what we needed. That's what we lacked so much last year's. We were hoping that Palmer would be able to step in and kind of fill that wide receiver one role. Well, he was injured, and so was everybody else. So Keon Coleman and Shakir, it was, and that just did not work out very well. I think I would have rather put Coleman in the slot position and moved Keon Coleman to wide receiver one and had him try to draw coverage over Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
Because at least Shakir is really shifty.
Yeah.
And you have to be wary of that. Keon Coleman, he's kind of none of that. He's more of just a big body. And
he's a big body, and you just need to throw the ball near him and let him do the work and hopefully build his confidence back. Because that's the biggest thing, is he lost all of that, which is bad when you're, that type of player. You lose your confidence, and your job is entirely, I just have to beat this guy by being better. But now you have no confidence. You can't beat anybody.
Yeah. Well, and I think a part of that too with him, he also had the not showing up for practices and some off the field stuff going on, and
for sure.
I think hopefully he cleans that stuff up, so I can understand why the McDermott did what he did. But I also think part of that might be is between Bean and McDermott. I'm not wondering if there was a little politics going on behind the scenes where they weren't getting along, because every year after year after year of getting into the playoffs, winning a couple games and then not making it to a Super Bowl with a once in a lifetime quarterback. So I think there might have been a little bit of scuffling going on with that. So hopefully now that McDermott's gone, it's a whole new system. It's a whole new, you wiped your slate clean, your resume's clean. It's all new, well, mostly new personnel. So hopefully Keon Coleman sees this as, okay, the people behind me are stabilized, and now I can focus on trying to be the best Keon I can be. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If not, at least we can pull Keon Coleman out of there, and we can stick Skylar Bell in there. And I think he has a way higher ceiling than Keon Coleman ever had. So even though he was taken in the 4th round, I don't know how he made it that far, because I've seen Skylar Bell being a 3rd round draft at the latest. Somehow he fell to 4th, and we picked him up. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think there was another guy that I really liked too, and I think he's like Bernard or something like that, as far as because I was looking for the deep threat kind of guy, the speedy deep threat, all around kind of receiver for inevitably when we lose our wide receiver one because we can't pay for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Got some optimism about seeing how things are going to work this year for the Bills. I think with the Vikings, it's just a matter of getting a quarterback established.
Also, apparently, the Vikings brought in Juwan Jennings, the wide receiver from the 49ers. They might be signing him to be wide receiver 3, which is just ridiculous. They gotta chill with the offensive weapons they be choosing.
Yeah, the 4th.
Our wide receiver 2 is better, or our wide receiver 3 is better than half the league's wide receiver 1. That's goofy.
Right. Yeah.
But who
I don't
knows?
know. I don't know. I think you guys will do a lot better this year than you did last year with Murray.
Well, we'll see. Who knows?
If he stays healthy.
If he stays
But
healthy, JJ McCarthy's looked different in our early workouts. He's not swinging his leg anymore.
right. The other thing I was going to ask you about, you guys traded away a defensive player. What was his name?
Yeah, we traded Jonathan Grenard, who I don't like the return we got, but I also understand it because whoever traded for him has to pay him now, and he got paid. That's for sure. But like
2/3, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, he
I wondered if you were going to be upset over that or not.
like I am, but I'm not. His pressure rate over the last few years has been incredible, but also his missed tackle percentage has been higher than anybody else's in the entire league. Like last year, he was like third in pressure rate and had 3 sacks. And every single time it was a play that, like, if he makes the sack, it, ends a series and we move on. But instead he lets it go. A team converts on 3rd down and ends up going and scoring a touchdown. Yes, pressures are incredible, but when they're not leading to the play being disturbed at all and nothing's actually changing, it's not doing anything. Now, could he go to Philly and all of those pressures turn into sacks and then we look kind of stupid? Maybe. But also, who looked better than him anyways? Dallas Turner, and this just frees him up to actually play football now. So, like...
Right. Plus, didn't you guys draft another...
Yeah, Dallas Turner a couple years ago.
Right.
Who,
did you guys draft this year?
Not a defensive end, no.
Not at the end. So
I
who's
think
your
they
depth?
got basically the same depth they've had the entire time.
I don't remember. I'm not familiar with your
I
DNs.
don't remember who else is still there. I think... Oh, God, who is still there?
I just worried that Dallas Turner goes down and then you guys might be in trouble.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Bo Richter, who was pretty decent. Tyler Beatty was there last year. I don't love him. Chas Chambliss looked awesome last year. Ivan Pace is a guy that they might end up putting on the edge because that's kind of what he's been best at recently, is just rush the passer. So you might do something like that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, they still have, like, their biggest thing is their defensive ends. And then Jake Golday, the linebacker they drafted this year, he kind of fits the Andrew Van Ginkel mold anyways. So you just have 2 Van Ginkels out there.
Yeah. I think the one thing I'm upset about the Bills not drafting is your true, like, nose guard. You're running a 3-4. Why would you not draft your true run-stopping, gap-filling nose guard?
The Vikings did. His name is Dominique Orange. They call him the Big Citrus. Yeah.
Because I wanted the Bills it was either him or, God, who was the other guy? The other really big son of a gun. I want to say, was it Anderson? No.
I don't know.
Is that his last?
The Vikings also got second big monster with Caleb Banks. That man is enormous.
Banks. That was another guy that...
But Banks is different because he had injury concerns, which seems like the Bills were avoiding at all costs.
Which I understand with how the Bills went last year.
But the Vikings are like, our defensive line is great, but if Caleb Banks works out, he's just Chris Jones. And who says no to Chris Jones?
Right.
He's like the reason the Chiefs just won multiple Super Bowls. So, like, you take that,
Yep. I don't know. Every year I'm crushed by the end of the season of the NFL, and I'm kind of discouraged. And then every year I start going, I'm kind of looking forward to football. And then every year, it's just the same clock over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
One of these years, the clock's going to fall off the wall, though.
Yeah.
There's going to be an earthquake. But yeah.
We got anything else?
No, that pretty much sums it up for me.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.